And then some people came out who were not walking very straight. So they were going to sleep. We were getting up. So that is what this verse explains. What's night for all beings is a time of awakening for the self-controlled. So a devotee, he is different than the other people externally. He lives different. He gets up in the early morning. He takes a bath. That's every day, clean clothes, tilak. And then we are having Mangalarti and chanting japa, puja and so on, and lecture, and that's our day. Our day begins. It's a day in goodness. So it is said in the morning, after the night is ignorance, and the morning comes, and goodness comes in. And this goodness, this peaceful morning, diminishes by noontime passion gets in. And then in the afternoon passion increases, and then goes to ignorance. So this difference is also explained very vividly in the 16th chapter, the difference between the divine and the demoniac. Also the three modes of nature. The devotee lives in goodness. Most people live in passion and ignorance. It's quite a difference. But this is the external difference. That's external, we are different, usually we are dressing differently, and we have a different lifestyle. But that's external. The internal difference is more important. And that's what the next verse explains. Apoyamana machala pavishtam samutanapa pavishanti atvat. Tavatkamayam pavishanti sarve sansantim apnoti nakami kami. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enters like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not a man who strives to satisfy such desires. It explains like rivers are entering into the ocean. The ocean is not disturbed by it. It remains always peaceful. Now, a devotee, if some desire pops up in his mind, is not disturbed by it. But how we are dealing different with these desires. A devotee knows I'm not a mind. And because of spiritual practice, he's able to observe the mind and not to identify. But a non-devotee who has not spiritual practice, he identifies with the mind. He thinks, this is me, my feelings, my desires. But maybe I can ask you a question, that what is the source of desires? Where do they come from? Karma, okay, a good point. But desires can have different sources. Desires can come from the soul, because that's what the soul does. That the spirit soul, how do we know the soul is in the body? Because there is consciousness. The symptom of the soul is consciousness. But what is the activity of the soul? Please.
Two glass.
Two.
Two glass.
No, desires.
Desire, yeah. The soul becomes attached to something. Attachment is desire. That, but do all the desires that pop up in our mind come from the soul? No. That there can be other sources. Even the environment can influence you and some desire come. But then most of the desires are put into our mind by the super soul. But these are desires that comes from our previous lives. We had a desire in previous life, but it does remain unfulfilled. Krishna has said before in Bhagavad Gita, text 62, 63, is called the process of fall down. It's a dayato visaya pumsam sangiste svachayate sangha sanyate kamakam vodvijayate. So it starts with dayate. You think of something or you meditate on something. Dayate is meditation. So you meditate on something and you become attracted to it. And you say, yes, that's going to make me happy. And you strive for it. But then when the enjoyment comes, it does not meet your expectations. And you become frustrated and angry and unhappy because of that. It's frustrated, but the desire is still there. That is just that we are meditating on something. Like you meditate on a new car. Finally, you get a loan and so on, you get a new car, and it's nice, everything with plastic over, and all new, brand new, smells new. And so many new technical stuffs, that sensors, everything, board computer. It's nice, but 2 years later, it's just a car. You lost your interest. That's not your life. It never satisfies you, and that's what Krishna says. This lust was the result. It covers your knowledge that you are a spirit soul and you identify with the body. And then this you are never satisfied, always unsatisfied. So we have so many desires. They are stored in our subtle body. The subtle body is made of 90,000 false ego, but within the mind you have the subconsciousness, the samskaras. It's in the form of samskaras, impressions from previous lives, and it's still there. And Krishna knows that oh yes, in previous life, yes, try to fulfill this material desire. So Krishna, at a certain moment, we have forgotten, but Krishna knows. He knows. So he takes that desire as the super soul and puts it in our mind and it pops up. Now, what's the difference between a non-devotee and a devotee? How are they are reacting differently? A devotee, because of his spiritual practice, from the moment you chant Hare Krishna every day, and you hear the Bhagavatam, and practice devotional service, and follow the regulative principles, then you have the power not to identify with the mind. The mind is an instrument we use. We are not a mind. Some philosophers, they think, I think, so I exist. But no, the thinking, feeling, willing is going on within the mind. the subtle body. Now, in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 7th chapter, in the verses 4 till 7, Srila Vyasadeva shares his realizations of his meditation on the Absolute Truth, meditation with devotion. Narada Muni had asked him to do that. And then he gets realization, and from there comes the knowledge of the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam comes from these realizations. That in that purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, and that's a little tricky to understand, that Srila Prabhupada writes, the spirit soul has its own thinking and feeling and willing in the unconditioned state also, in our spiritual existence, in the spiritual world. We have our own thinking, feeling and willing. So, but that is part of the spiritual body. That, because we were in the spiritual world and at one moment we were curious. What would it be to be Krishna for a moment? And Krishna said to us, are you serious? Do you want that? And we said yes. We made the error to say yes. And Krishna says, okay, there is one problem. You want to be the enjoyer, but I'm the enjoyer. You are not the prime enjoyer. So if you want to play God, you first must forget me, because otherwise there is no fun. And he said, you have your spiritual body. With your spiritual body, you can only do the spiritual activities, devotional service. So you cannot use that. So therefore, I give you a gross and a subtle body. The gross body will change regularly. The subtle body remains with us. The super soul is controlling it. So yes, it's very old. And that subtle body is made of mind intelligence, false ego, material intelligence, material false ego. So, in other words, we got these instruments of the subtle body to work out our material desires. And our original spiritual body, our own thinking, feeling and willing is now inactive. Srila Prabhupada said, yeah, you see this arm? It's a gross arm. Within the gross arm, there is a subtle arm. Because the subtle body is the basis of the construction of the gross body. So, because at the time of death, according Yam Yam Pakistan, at the time of death, your consciousness at that moment will determine your next body. So at the time of death already, your next body is formed in a subtle form and is brought by the super soul to your next mother, hopefully a human, mostly not. And there, through the semen of the Father, the soul and the subtle body is brought into the womb of the mother. And there the construction of the next gross body is going up based on the subtle body. That it's like as I've seen in Toronto, they have these big skyscrapers. But when they build them, they first make a metal structure, a skeletal structure. and then they fill it up. It's like the structure is already there. So that subtle world is very old. And so we have got many lives with many frustrations. And Krishna is so kind, we don't remember them. If you would remember all the states of your previous life, we can't even deal with this life. what would life be? So Krishna is mercifully let us forget his frustrations, but not our desires. He remembers our desires, and they are still in our subconsciousness. And he gets them and puts them in our consciousness, in our mind. So this desire pops up. Now if one is not a devotee, he thinks, yeah, I'm the mind, that's my desire. Yes, we go for it. And so he becomes attached to the desire and says, it's mine. But a devotee is different. A devotee, by spiritual practice, he has learned to control his mind, and he so serves his mind. And that desire pops up, and he thinks, what kind of desire is this? Oh, he said, that's material desires. Krishna says in 5.22 in Bhagavad Gita, Yehi samstasya bhuga dukayunya evatir yantam dekam ishanati suramatir buddha. The sages have said that if you want to enjoy in this world, the result will be, what's the result of enjoying? Suffering. Suffering, yes. So it's not gratis, the enjoyment in this world. You have to pay for it. And the great sages, Krishna says, have said, it's not worthwhile. Not worthwhile. Because it's all temporary. It's over. But the material happiness of eating a pizza, how long does it take eating a pizza? 20 minutes? And then the thing starts again. You become again hungry and so on. So they identify, the non-devotees identify, but the devotees not. They see, oh, it's a material desire. Krishna does not want me to do that. No interest. And then the desire goes away. So that's the effect of Krishna consciousness. You lose your interest for all these temporary activities of the body. You want to feel the love for Krishna in your heart by performing devotional service, an eternal relationship, an eternal love. Because that's what we want. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to love and be loved. That's what everyone wants. But now that is directed to things in this world and so-called relationships which are very temporary. Krishna consciousness means we are rectifying these desires, and we give our love to Krishna, and we see Krishna in everyone's heart. Therefore we respect everyone. So that's a different consciousness. So that's the internal difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Yes, therefore it's important to always in Krishna consciousness, because the material energy is very strong. Krishna says, Mama Maya Dvajina. But Mami Vayiva Pachante Mayami Patante. He said, this material energy is very difficult to overcome. But one who has surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So this material energy is very, very strong, and we cannot fight with it. But we can come out of the influence of material nature. So sometimes people say, oh, this Hare Krishnas, poor people, they can't do what they want, so many restrictions, they can't enjoy life like anyone. But the devotee of Krishna, the advanced transcendentalist, he has free will and can use his free will. Those under the material energy, they may also have free will, but they are not free to act. That a devotee can say, when these material desires come up, he can say no. But the non-devotee cannot. He comes under the spell of material nature and becomes controlled by it. And that is that situation that leads to heavy suffering. Because that's the difference. Sometimes people ask me, after 35 years chanting Hare Krishna, what is your realization? Well, I tell you, a little realization, it's not much, but it demonstrates this, what I'm explaining. 35 years ago, when I just started Krishna consciousness, when a devotee would something say nasty to me, not very nice, I would become very disturbed, and I would be disturbed sometimes for weeks or months. And now we are 35 years later. If that happens, again, someone says something nasty again to me, I will also be disturbed for 5 seconds. And then I let it go. That's the difference. That you are not so influenced anymore by this so-called happiness and distress. That you remain undisturbed in these situations. So that is realization. But then, how to get this realization? This realization you don't get on your own effort. You must do your part. Our path is we are chanting Hare Krishna, and we are performing devotional service. Hearing the scriptures every day, that's nice. But how to get this realization? How did Lord Brahma, according to the Bhagavatam, get this realization? The first verse of the Bhagavatam says, Amadhyas yatam yatata satis abhihyasvara teni Brahma hridaya adhikavye. Tenu Brahma hridaya, the heart. He got realization from Krishna through the heart. After doing tapasya in devotional service for many years, Krishna gave him a realization from the heart. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita how he does that. In the Bhagavatam also, but in the Bhagavad Gita it says, Teksham satyuknam vajnam vidyokam dadami buddhyontam yena mama priyantite. Krishna says, if you serve me with a little love, dadami, I will give you something. He gives you buddhi yoga, means self-realized knowledge. That's the self-realized knowledge. It's not theoretical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge is called in Sanskrit jnana, and realized knowledge is vijnana. So Krishna gives that from within the heart if we serve him with a little love, piti provakam. But how does he do that? In the next verse he says, Tesham evam kamritam amakyan samtvan nasachamat mavamstu yanti barak. Jnana Vashkata. I give you this realization only in the heart, Krishna says, with the Jnana Dipana, with the light of knowledge. I destroy all your ignorance in the heart and give you realization. Because by nature we are spirit souls, and this knowledge is there. It's already there, but it's not, it's covered over. Avitam Jnana Metana, Krishna says in the third chapter. It's covered over. But it's again manifested if the covering is removed. And this covering is called ignorance and passion, the most passion and ignorance. We have Krishna removes that, and then we start to see the reality, and we get realization. But what was the condition? Priti Purvakam, a little love. But that's, especially in the beginning, that's a problem. We don't know what's love. We think as love something between man and woman, but that's lust. We don't, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, he dedicates a whole chapter in describing the difference between love and lust. And in the beginning we don't have this love, even not the pretty accomplished little love. So what's the arrangement and what can we do? Yeah, we don't have any even this little love, this spirit of love. We even don't know what it is. So what is the arrangement Krishna made? That Vinapana Pradna Parikrishna Sevya Protection Tegnan Gavnas Tatvalakshna. You approach spiritual master submissively, you inquire for him, you serve him. When you do that, what's the result? Next verse says, Yatra Pranapadaman Evan Yasyatipandana Yina Bhutani Ashandrakshansyatmatiyatumani. Then you start to see that Krishna is in everything, and everything belongs to Krishna. You become Krishna conscious. And then abstas Bhavyo Savabhyo Papakritama Savangama Bhavenim Bhavisham Santration. They are on the boat of transcendental knowledge. If you follow these instructions of the spiritual master, the four most essential instructions of the spiritual master are: you chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds every day, follow the regulative principles, you do devotional service, and you hear every day the Bhagavatam. As long as you do that, you remain on the boat. Then the next verse says, if you remain on the boat, then all your karma will be destroyed. At that time, if you follow these instructions, your karma will be destroyed. Then you get realization that, so that's the arrangements made by Krishna. He accepts the following of these instructions of the spiritual master. Krishna, if we do that he accepts that as a little love. That's the beginning of our love. Following following the instructions of the spiritual master. And Krishna accepts that as a little love. And then he starts to cleanse our heart. All our karma goes. It's not that you take initiation of the spiritual master and you have a fire sacrifice, that at that moment the spiritual master takes all your karma and we say, thank you Maharaj. If I meet you again, I will let you know, thank you for taking my karma. But it's not working like that. That's a myth. That's not in the scriptures. We sing every day we do go puja and we sing Divyagan Pokasito. It means this Divyagan is this realization to the heart that will appear when we serve the spiritual master. That Divyagan, Rede, the heart, Pokasita, manifest through the heart. And it is Krishna, as a super soul in the heart, who gives you that realization. And that is the difference, internal difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. And a non-devotee cannot understand that. It's said here that there are two classes of intelligent men. One is intelligent in material sense gratification, and the other is introspective and awake to the cultivation of self-realization. So that's so you have material IQ and spiritual IQ. That's people with a high material IQ, and they can do so many things, and that they are expert in exploiting the material energy. They go to the university, get a master's in business administration, how through systems control everything. That very intelligent. Like I did a PhD in the study of religion at the University of Wales, and so I met brilliant people, and they knew Bhagavad Gita, they could quote Bhagavad Gita, so many things, but they could not understand that they are not a body. What's the use of everything? With scholarship, you cannot approach Bhagavad Gita, because that knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is given from within by Krishna. And therefore, you are all very intelligent, spiritually intelligent, because you are here to listen to Bhagavad Gita. That most people cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It's not easy to understand Bhagavad Gita in the conditioned state. You need a spiritual practice for very many years, and then you start to understand, okay, oh, that's what Krishna says. That, so this is the essential difference between a non-devotee and a devotee. You can see it externally, how they live, and internally, that's completely different. That devotee sees the world very, very different. That, so any comments or questions? Yes?
You mentioned before that souls exist in an, as far as I understand, spiritual world. You said that each one of us maybe wanted to become the enjoyer. You said that there's a problem, that there is already one enjoyer. Why is that a problem?
Yeah, because Krishna is Bhakta Charatapasam Sarvaloka Aishvaram Suridam Sarvabhutana Yatvaman Santivicchati. Krishna says, I'm the cause of everything, and therefore I'm the proprietor of everything. Okay, he's a proprietor.
Yes.
Yeah, and because he's the proprietor, he has a right to enjoy. The spirit soul is meant for enjoyment. That's in the Vedanta Sutra. That Ananda Maya Vyasat is meant for enjoyment. How does the spirit soul enjoy? That spirit soul is enjoying. That enjoyment, that spiritual enjoyment, is different from material enjoyment. That's in nectar devotion, it's called Bhakti Ras. Bhakti Ras is an enjoyment which is Ananda. It never stops. But to understand us, one must understand the difference between material enjoyment and spiritual enjoyment. Material enjoyment, that yes, is Bhoga Jhana. Bhoga Jhana. We go to work on Monday and we think, I wish it would be already Friday. Well, okay, And Tuesday comes, okay, another day. Wednesday, okay, we are halfway. Thursday, there is hope. Friday, they start to smile. And then the weekend is there. And then they want to enjoy, but so many things to do and a little enjoyment, and it's Monday again. So material enjoyment is a boga tyag. Boga tyag. You enjoy, and then renunciation. You eat a pizza, 20 minutes, and then the problem starts again. So that's material enjoyment. But we are not meant for that so-called enjoyment in this world. That is not what we are meant for. That taking birth, get older, get diseased and die. And in between a little sense gratification. Everything that is happiness. But no, we are not his body. And Krishna says when you live for the satisfaction of the senses, you live for nothing. But there is a higher enjoyment, a spiritual enjoyment. And that spiritual enjoyment, Krishna says, on that, to experience that, you have to become a Mahatma, a great soul. Mahatmanas tuma bhaktam devim bhakti ashrita pachantyana manasam buddhatim jnanam avyam. Krishna says that the Mahatma knows how to connect with the spiritual energy. But to make that connection, you must know that Krishna is the source of everything and the original enjoyer and the proprietor of everything. That's an important principle. If you act on the basis that you are the proprietor and you are the enjoyer, Krishna has made arrangements, you come under the material energy. That's why we are here. And that is our choice. But if we know who Krishna is, and we know who we are, and we know what our relationship is, then, but first you have to know who Krishna is. He's the source of everything. Janmadhyasya, that's the first word of the Vedanta Sutra. Everything has a source, and he's the source of everything. Janmadhyasya. And that one must know who Krishna is. He's made of Satchitananda. Is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, eternally. That he has nothing to do with immaterial nature, although it comes from him. And you must know who you are. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamayam Sachivelaka Shiva Buddha Sanatana, we are a spiritual spark coming from him. And we are meant also to be Satchitananda. But because we want to enjoy without Krishna and take his property for our enjoyment, not recognizing him, that's offensive. Therefore we are here and we suffer birth after birth after birth after birth. Do you think it's okay? I'm going to my nature, to my neighbor, and he has his own house, and you say to the neighbor, a nice house, I'm going to live here now. I think he will take the phone call and ask, and a little later, men in white jackets will come and take you out. You will be punished, suffering. And that's our situation. Acting spiritually, Krishna says, means understanding, acting with false ego, without sense of proprietorship, and without a desire to enjoy, exploit. Krishna's energy. So, therefore, to connect with that spiritual energy, Krishna says, you must become a Mahatma. And how does a Mahatma connect? Satatam Kirtayatma. He connects with always doing Kirtan, glorification of Krishna, and by engaging in devotional service in 9 forms, it's whole science to be learned, how to connect. Because it's a question of making the connection. This is an iPhone 13, so many apps. So I have many apps. If I don't have internet, can I use the apps? No. If you are not connected with Krishna, you are not connected with the spiritual energy. You are in illusion. I and mine. And the cause is I forget Krishna. When you forget Krishna, you forget that you are a parcel of Krishna and the servant of Krishna, not the controller in this world. And when you forget that, you think this is mine, and this is for my enjoyment. And that's the cause of your suffering. And that is what Krishna explains. It's up to you to accept it or not. Krishna is in your heart. He makes your heart beating now. You don't have control about it. He makes your digestion go. He makes you think now according to your desires, your inner attitude. He knows, he sees that he sees your inner attitude, that your tendency to control. And he, for the moment at least, reciprocating with that. And that's the reality. You cannot change. Something else? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the lecture, Maharaj. So from your explanation, I understood that our desires were the main source of our problems. Right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Our desires are the source of problems or the source of liberation. If you desire to please Krishna, that will get you liberated. So the desire in itself is not the source of problem. Material desire is based on these 2 things that I explained, thinking that I'm the enjoyer and I'm the proprietor. We are also the enjoyer, but we enjoy only if we are connected with Krishna spiritually. Then we will enjoy ecstatic love, which is not from this world. But if we forget Krishna, good luck. So you can continue your question.
Yeah, thank you. So then, essentially, you just explained that there are like material desires that are causing troubles, and if we have a spiritual desire to come back to Krishna, to serve Krishna, then desires are helping us. They are kind of shaping us to the right way.
Our desires. We have material desires. We should be honest with it. But the technique explains this. But Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that you have these desires, okay? Connect your desires with serving Krishna. Like when Srila Prabhupada was in London, a devotee came to him and said, Prabhupada, I want to serve you. Ask me anything you want, I will do it. Prabhupada said, what do you want to do for Krishna? And the devotee said, it doesn't matter, Prabhupada. Just ask me what to do, I will do it for you. And Prabhupada became more grave. He said, try to understand our philosophy. What do you want to do for Krishna? And he said, yes. Prabhupada, I want to make unbreakable Vedangas. And Prabhupada said, yes, do that for Krishna. And he made his first famous fiberglass Vedangas. So it was dovetailing his desires in Krishna's service. And Srila Prabhupada uses the English word dovetailing. Is dovetailing comes from the carpentry. You have two pieces of wood. One with wood, something comes out, and the other, there are openings, and it fits perfectly in each other. So we have to connect our desires, our material desires, with Krishna. That goes only not sinful desires, that's not possible. But everyone has a psychophysical nature and has certain attachments that and certain likes and dislikes. That what you like, that's mostly what you are good in. You do that for Krishna. But it's best to do that under the instruction of the spiritual master. Why? The spiritual master has become liberated, so he knows he knows the challenges, how to use things in Krishna's service. And therefore, Prabhupada gave different instructions to different disciples because they are different. To Gargamuni, he said, do business. He called them sometimes Gargamuni. Money. Anyway, because he had this tendency. He could do business, that he has this capacity. Use your capacity in the service of Krishna, and by that, your material desires, that desire will go, at least the material side of that. That will go, it will become spiritualized. Practically, we have just to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. In the 90s, I was in Radhadesh in Belgium, and I was an accountant, bookkeeper. So, to help the ISKCON project, my Guru-Maharaj instructed me, now you become a chartered accountant. That is a higher position, that means to help with the tax difference and so on. And for that, I was living in the temple also by Brahmachari, but I had to go again to school and go and do a proof period in the accountant's office. But I like to drive big cars. I had a big BMW. But to do that, I had to go from Radhadesh to Antwerp and back three times a week. So that was, and that's one way it's 300 kilometers, back is 600. 3 times 800 kilometers a week. I did that for 18 months. I used it in Krishna's service. Do you think after 18 months driving like that, you still want to drive a car? It's all burned away. Just by following the desire of my Guru-Maharaj. Yeah, I did what I liked, and yeah, it was burned away. So that's the process of the. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good, thank you very much. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste, Bye. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Vishnu Paramahamsa Parikacharya Sutta Shanti Srimad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavina ki. Namacharya Srimad Rasta ki. Vaishnava Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Vedanta Shivasa Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Govardhan ki. Shri Nam ki. Shri Nopit Maya Pudam ki. Ganga Maya Manmai ki. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki. Shri Gaura Premanande. All glories to the awesome devotees, all glories to the awesome devotees, all glories to the awesome devotees. All glories to Shri Gaura and Shri Gauranga.